Hello, this is Carl Bissonette with another episode of Tips and Tricks. We've been working this guy a handful of times for the last week or so, getting him saddled up, getting him moving out. He's been having a few hiccups here and there with the saddle, still wants to buck here and there and isn't quite fully accepting it. But we continue to work through that. And now we're going to start working on the next step with him, which is getting his head tied around and getting him working both directions. Tying the head around does a lot of really good things, teaches them how to release to the pressure. Uh, as a trainer, it allows me to start seeing what his natural footfall is, which then, when we get on him, will help me to time my cues better, to be able to teach him the difference from our front end cue to our hind end cue and all through there. All right, the first thing we do before we tie a horse's head around is we want to see if we can get a soft feel. So I'll grab the back of the saddle, and if we can get a soft feel, we'll hang out there, and very nice. Be able to work that both directions. We've worked on the soft feel with him a bit, so he has an understanding here. And we just want to pick up that soft feel, no foot movement, and just wait until he stops moving and hangs out here with a soft feel. Now, I want to be patient and keep this hand up here if I can, because I'm going to need this hand up here to be able to tie his head around. So I want him used to seeing that. And we're just waiting until he stops, and now we'll pick up a soft feel in the head, and if he hangs out right there, then we have a success. So now, when I go to tie his head around, I'm going to loop it behind the saddle, and I'm going to just come up with a quick release half hitch. So I'm going to hang out here, nice and easy. We're going to come behind the saddle, and then we're going to just pull a loop right up through here like that. We'll step away. Now, a couple things that I'm doing is I'm watching his footfall. So he's kind of switching and doing both. He's going kind of hind foot, front feet, hind feet, front feet, hind feet, front feet. Once he kind of gets used to this, a lot of times what a horse will do is they'll do hind foot, hind foot, hind foot, and then they'll step through with their front feet. One thing that I do really like is when he's taking these front steps, he's doing a really good job of stepping all the way forward and through, crossing over, really nice. Really like that. Okay, very nice front footsteps. I really like seeing that. Okay, once he kind of gets used to this process at a walk, ideally I want to see if I can kind of bump him up into a trot or a little brisker movement. Now, what this is also doing is this is pulling on the saddle. So it's getting him used to feeling that saddle move around on his back and not just necessarily stay kind of in one spot. I like to walk in a counter circle when I'm working this. If he needs a little help, I'll give him a little help here, but he's doing a really nice job stepping through. Okay, let's see if we can get just a little bit more. What we're looking for here is We don't want him freaking out. We just want him to speed his feet up and continue the circle. Very nice. Right there. Very good. Now, for the sake of keeping this horse balanced, we want to work the other side. Be real calm as you come in here. We'll get this. If he's moving, we don't undo him. If he's standing still, then I can help him out. Very nice. He's licking the lips. That's a good sign. Want to see this flexion to the other side. Keep him balanced. 2, 2. 2, 2. This happens frequently. 2. Just keep staying pace with him until we're able to get what we want. That saddle locks it in a little bit. So it's not all lost if we lose it there. We can just get set back up and get our knot put underneath. Okay, this is a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Just like we work the other side, we're going to start off at a walk, and then we'll see if we can build the pressure up a little bit. Watching the footfall as we're working. We want nice big steps up front, crossing over in front. Good. He's not quite stepping as big and as clean this direction. That's okay. There we go. There we go. And we just keep working this at a walk until we kind of see him settling down. The other reason why we do this tying their head around is because ideally when we get on them, we would much rather like to be able to stop him in a one rein stop than have him take off and go to bucking. So we're teaching him that this is the spot where you just kind of have to stop your feet, regroup, and think about it. The only way to get out of this situation is by releasing to the pressure. And the pressure being up front on his face right now. You can kind of push them around the round pin. I like to try to keep them off the rail if I can. If they're moving that way, I just kind of hang out in that spot. Once I have him where I want, then I'll continue my counter circles here. There. He's stepping really nice. The head's starting to come down. And it seems like he's not freaking out at it. So we'll pick him up into the trot now. You can see he's trying to get away from it a little bit. That's okay. That's why we do it here on the ground. Good boy. Okay, once we have our trot, we want to finish at our walk. Before we undo him. Still hopping a little bit with that step. Looking for him to slow down just a little bit more. He's step, 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 pause. I want to see him just to be able to make a full circle with no pause and just continue to step through at a walk without speeding up. Very nice. Ooh. Start out petting. Try not to step in this V where his head is at. That's where he can step over the top of us. Ooh. Once we have that loosened, we can step in there a little bit more safely, get him all the way undone. So that's kind of the process that I look for when I'm starting to tie one around. He was a very good boy demonstrating today. Today is the first day of tying him around, so it kind of gives you a look at how we go about that. To finish out the workout for him, I'm going to just kind of lunge him around me a few times, get him at a trot, get him at a walk, so that the last thing that he remembers is just a nice, easy day with the saddle on top of him. Everything's good. So again, that's Carl Bissonette with another episode of Tips and Tricks. Thank you.